The morning sunlight streamed through the tall windows of Brookdale University's library, but Ethan Carter barely noticed. He sat at a desk piled high with books, his pen moving quickly across his notes. For weeks, he had been preparing for the upcoming exam. His future depended on it. But that very future was about to shatter. Just before noon, 2 campus security officers approached his table. "Ethan Carter?" one asked firmly. Students nearby turned to watch as Ethan looked up, confused. "You need to come with us," the officer added, his tone heavy with authority. Ethan's stomach sank. "Is something wrong?" he asked, his voice unsteady. Minutes later, he found himself in the dean's office, where a small group waited. Professor Lewis, known for his strict discipline, and a disciplinary board representative. On the desk lay a folder stuffed with papers, printouts, and photos. "Mr. Carter," Professor Lewis began coldly, "you've been accused of cheating on your exam and stealing the answer sheets prior to test day." Ethan's jaw dropped. "That's impossible. I would never." The dean raised a hand to silence him. "We have evidence, Ethan. Witness statements. Security footage. You were seen near the faculty office after hours." The words cut deeper than any blade. Ethan felt his chest tighten as whispers of betrayal and disbelief filled his mind. He wanted to shout, to demand they look again, but the cold eyes staring back told him the verdict had already been written in their minds. And just like that, Ethan's world began to crumble. The following day, the disciplinary hearing convened in the old auditorium. Rows of students whispered among themselves as Ethan entered, escorted by campus security. To them, he was no longer just a student. He was the accused, the center of scandal. At the front sat the panel: Dean Richards, Professor Lewis, and 3 faculty members. Their expressions were stern, unreadable. A file lay open on the table, evidence displayed like weapons prepared for battle. "Ethan Carter," Dean Richards began, his voice echoing in the room, "you are accused of academic dishonesty and theft of examination materials. How do you plead?" Ethan spent the night replaying every detail in his mind. Jason's testimony bothered him the most. Jason was too confident, too rehearsed, as if his words had been planted. Ethan decided to trace the timeline, searching for the smallest mistake. The next morning, he visited the library, where security cameras also monitored late-night students. "Can I see the footage from last Thursday?" Ethan asked the librarian, his voice careful but urgent. She hesitated but eventually agreed, knowing his future was on the line. The screen flickered, and there it was, Ethan, sitting at a corner table, stacks of books surrounding him. Timestamp showed he stayed until nearly midnight, only leaving minutes before the alleged theft. But something else caught his eye. Just before Ethan left, the hearing reconvened 2 days later. The panel sat in silence, expecting Ethan to stumble again. Jason leaned back in his chair with a smug grin, confident that victory was his. Ethan stood, holding the flash drive in his hand. His voice was steady, though his heart pounded. "Before you pass judgment, I have something you need to see." Dean Richards raised an eyebrow. "Proceed." The projector flickered on, and the library footage appeared. The timestamp showed Ethan buried in books, studying long past midnight. Gasps rippled through the audience. The evidence alone cast doubt on the professor's claim. Then came the final blow. The camera caught Jason, creeping down the hallway toward Professor Lewis's office minutes before Ethan passed by. His nervous glance at the door spoke volumes. "Tell me," Ethan said firmly, turning to Jason, "if you saw me holding stolen papers, why does this footage show you outside the office first?" Jason's face drained of color. He stammered, searching for words, but none came. The auditorium buzzed with shock. The auditorium was silent, all eyes fixed on Jason. His earlier confidence had evaporated, leaving only fear. Dean Richards cleared his throat, his voice carrying the weight of authority. "Jason Miller," he said sternly, "you accused an innocent student. Do you understand the severity of this?" Jason stammered, I didn't mean." But the dean cut him off. "Enough. This panel will recommend disciplinary action against you, including suspension." Gasps filled the room. Jason's fall was swift and humiliating. Ethan, though vindicated, did not gloat. He stood tall, his voice calm but resolute. "All I wanted was fairness. If false accusations can destroy someone so easily, then no student is safe." The panel nodded in agreement. Professor Lewis, red-faced with embarrassment, lowered his gaze, ashamed of how quickly he had judged Ethan. Justice always finds its voice. If this story inspired you, make sure to like, thumbs up, share, repeat button, and subscribe to my channel Echo Resistance for more powerful stories of truth and courage.